Hi, I'm Taylor Holmes. I went to the University of Utah and I did my internship in environmental engineering, energy, and geoscience. So when I first arrived there, I was kind of just introduced to everyone, and we went in this place called the Cave that Jenny talked about, and it's just a giant storage room pretty much. But it also has the Bacaro in it, which is this gas detector, and it detects CO2, methane, and H2O. We also did a little bit of 3D printing my first week when I was there, and I made a little bee and a little penguin. Yeah. This was the building I was in, the CME building, and just off to the left of it is the lab, and these are some pictures of the lab we went in. We weren't in there much, but that's where our mentors would spend some time and do some projects. My second and third week there, we started working on a project kind of preparing for going to the Forge Lab that I'm going to talk about soon. And we pretty much read through a ton of theses and presented on what they talked about and kind of showed how we could use what they studied at the Forge site and all the stuff they did. And it was actually probably the most meaningful part of my internship because it was all of a sudden like, yeah, you were a junior in high school, but now you're presenting at a college level and expected to meet college expectations. And it was pretty cool, and it was a great learning experience. This is the Forge site, kind of, and what we were doing there. The whiteboards that you can barely see are us when we were planning out everything we were going to do at the Forge site. And the Forge site is kind of just, it's a spring that they're getting energy from, both the hot water and hot gas that is coming out of the ground. We did several things there. We tested temperature of the ground, temperature of water. We did helium samples. We used the Bacaro to detect gas. We used other gas detectors. We did just about everything imaginable you could think of for future plans on doing other geothermal sites and just studies around that. My last 2 weeks there, we kind of were preparing for the trip. This is when we had thermometers just like right outside the campus. We were testing them out and making sure they worked, kind of getting readings of the ground, if it was cooler, deeper, hotter, deeper, what time of day, how that might affect it, all that stuff. We also had to set up the GPS so we could find the exact location. We would take these temperatures and take these samples so it was all accurate and logged correctly. Kind of more of that was the Bacaro machine, which was the gas detector, and we had to calibrate that, make sure it was working properly, be able to download data off of it, be able to collect data, be able to do everything you could think of with data, and that actually turned into quite a chaotic scene because the Bacaro was built in 1999 and still runs on Windows XP, which is not easy to use. We spent a lot of time just trying to get data from it. It was very difficult. My housing situation was kind of crazy. I was all over the place. I stayed in 3 different houses. I stayed in one a week, then I had to move that Sunday, go to another place, and then my last 2 weeks I was in just one place the whole time, and it was in a really sweet family's kind of little basement that they usually rented out to a college student. I think I don't really talk about this, but it is really important to be independent and kind of take ownership for your situation and be like, hey, I'm alone, but I need to go shop, I need to go make dinner, do all the stuff that you normally do in life. Um, Advice for future Pinterns: be resilient. Things will be hard there. There will be situations that are difficult to deal with. You just got to get through it, and you will get through it. Make sure to communicate, because communication is going to be super, super important. If you're not in touch with your professors, with your fellow the people you're working with, undergraduates or interns, you're just going to end up in a chaotic situation. Be on top of your work. Make sure you don't get behind. They will be upset with you if you're not doing the things you're supposed to be doing. And also make sure to have fun. I would like to say thank you to my fellow interns, also my professors that were super amazing, and of course Pinhead and Sarah Holbrook.